Training happens in different parts of the world. So if you're going to be a hairdresser or perhaps a fitness trainer, they usually send you all the way to London. And if you're either just beauty, or it really depends where you are, but I know for my training when I did my all beauty, I was in Cape Town and that was it. So for the training in Cape Town, it's always just usually about 2 weeks, and if you're going to do any extra courses, it can be 2 to 3, possibly 4 weeks at a time. And when you're there, it's hardcore learning, a lot of LMS training. There's no retraining of how to do a massage, how to perform effleurages like that you should already know. You're going into a working environment, meaning lots and lots of knowledge on products, how to, when to, why to, and all of that. So you really need to be able to understand the concept of the product LMS. So look into the LMS brand as well, and just look into it. Go to Studifits, go to Edgar's, go into their counters, talk to the girls, hear how they sell their LMS products. You can go into Harrods, wherever you are around the world in London, go into those counters, listen to what they say, how they say it, how they're upgrading. If they do upgrade from a regular biotech cleanser to perhaps a skin cleansing balm, it really is up to you and how you take all that information in. So that's what it's all about. Techniques on how to apply the actual product versus you going in and doing it as if you are at school. Another thing to also note is that within those 2 weeks, get yourself prepared. I did mention this in the beginning, but get yourself prepared. Make sure you've packed light but enough, knowing that if you're fantastic and the trainers love you, you could get sent on a ship immediately, even before the actual date finishes. I know a lot of girls, I remember when I was there 2015, about 2 or 3 girls got sent within that last week. So after your physical exam, so there's like a little writing exam, I know that a lot of the girls got sent. So make sure you're prepared, get your documents in hand, and that will give you a straightforward way. I will be bringing back more about the accommodation. I know a lot has changed from 2014, but there is better accommodation versus going to a YMCA type of village, and I'll be telling you more about that shortly. How I got accommodation, the way I got accommodation was through my recruiter at that time, but I also did my networking. So you kind of can stalk your friends. That's why social media is probably one of the best ways, is to figure out who's joining you on the 19th of January and who's joining you on the 20th of February. Figure out where you guys staying. Have you guys found accommodation? You know, let's hook up, and that's how you guys can connect. Like having the Steiner Crew page on Facebook, that's also another way of connecting with your mates, asking them when and where, who's going to be in town, and connecting with that people. Send them a DM, slide in their DM, and figure out what is happening with them, how are they getting, what have they done as well. So which is the best accommodation? There's one in Bloberg, or Tiger Valley rather, and that was my favorite. It was basically apartments, and there was about 2 or 3 girls sharing, and that was really good. So if you're sharing, that's the way, and you guys get to have transport that will take you straight to the academy, bring you back, and you all get to regroup and possibly talk about it. It just feels like going to boarding school all over again, and just coming back, socializing with you guys, and talking and refreshing your mind and preparing yourself for out there as well. There is a lot of negativities out there. They'll tell you that if you go to the YMCA Academy, there's so much this, there's so much drugs, there's so much drinking. But that's for you. You know, you're going there to learn. And if it's cheaper for you, it's cheaper for you. So you're going to learn, do your work, focus, get through your 2 weeks, come back home, relax, and prepare yourself to make lots of money. Once you're in training, you usually do not know who groups you. I remember from my parts that even though I have all my certificates rather in body, facial, electrics, it's really up to you. So I remember they gave us a category and they told us who has specific qualifications. So if you're a body, you go to the body section, which automatically means that you would probably qualify to be an inothermist. And if you're more on the facial electrics, then you'll qualify as a biotech facialist and as well as a pro collagen facial, and then pure massage from there on, or complete or beauty. Now all beauty is everything except for inothermy and possibly biotech if you haven't done that training as well. You're good at your department, there won't be any strike, there won't be any complaints. You will love your column. Love your column, because that's the only column that's going to make you money. In training, you'll do broad spectrum, both practical and written. For the practical side, it's just pure knowledge of the LMS, the feel, the look of the package, how to apply, when to apply it. Usually with the Pro Collagen masks, you need to be able to mix that up pretty quick and apply that onto the face, and it dries up pretty quick. So it's just all technique based, but you need to already have implemented your hands, so know how to do an effleurage, prayer movement, the combination of the hands, so being able to go around the nose area, all that jazz. So it's really up to you how to, if you're good at that, if you're not good at that, get to practice. So practice your effleurage, practice mobility, use your elbows if you have to, work on your elbows, work on your forearm, and that will help you in the long run. You're going into the working industry, like I said, I'm going to keep saying it again, you're going into the working industry. Find techniques that will be comfortable for you and that will help again with health issues, reduce back pain, reduce headaches, reduce feet swelling. Find techniques that you're going to be comfortable with it. So that's another thing that you'll need to implement when you go to training, because they're not really going to teach you that. They are going to show you how-tos, and the beds are pretty good when you go on ship. Some beds can rise up, can rise down, can tilt back and forth. So that's also just another great technique as well. Keep in mind that within that 2 weeks, the first day, you need to have shown your personality, because that I guarantee you can translate into your future cruises. Because if you're a sly, chilled human being, sweet, gentle, you could end up on a ship where there could be a lot of mature clientele, lower guests, and that could be good again for sales. And if you're bubbly, energetic, all of that, it really does matter, because then they can either put you on a Carnival cruise, Royal Caribbean, but don't get your hopes up. Too many girls get their hopes up thinking they'll go on nice big Royal Caribbean, Norwegian ships. Do not do that, because it really just doesn't, it doesn't depend on that. So think more about revenue, think more about which ship, which itinerary you're going in, and that really just does the deal. A quick refresher on what you will need for training is all your documents from the stuff that they printed out for you and what you should usually get. So that's your valid passport, a seaman's book if you have one, try and get one as soon as possible, C1D visa with your passport. All your medicals should be copies and should be exact, everything, no missing links, no missing puzzles, as well as your STCWs. So as long as you've got all that information in hand, you're sorted. Pack like you're not just going to London or Cape Town. Pack as if you're about to go into the world. So pack as much, and pack as much. That's all I can say.